Welcome to the Get Empowered podcast. Your host, Erika Vichcales here, and I'm so excited for this week's episode. So, this week, of course, I'm going to share something I'm grateful for. I'm going to share something that I am currently loving, and this week it is related to mindset. And then I'm going to share all about my 75 hard experience. So, as you know, I completed the 75 hard in 2021. Well, earlier this year, I decided to do it again. And I've been talking about it a lot, so I'm sure some of you may have guessed that, but I haven't explicitly talked about it. So I'm going to share how this round went. I just completed it last week. It was completely different than the first time I did it. And so I just really want to share my main takeaways, why I did it, some lessons I learned, and really what I got from it and what I got from the experience, and now what I'm going to do going forward. So I'm really excited for this week's episode. Thank you so much for tuning in. Let's dive in. Welcome to the Get Empowered podcast. My name is Erika Vichcales, and I am a mindset mentor, personal development junkie, holistic health advocate, and lover of all things spiritual. At the Get Empowered podcast, I'm here to help you overcome limitations, step into your power, and create your dream life. I've spent the last several years healing my mind, body, and soul, and have learned so much along the way. From healing trauma to navigating a sober lifestyle and learning how to step into my personal power, it has been transformational. If you're looking to heal, to be inspired, to uplevel your life, and to become the most empowered version of yourself, you've come to the right place. I created this podcast to help you know you are worthy of rewriting your story, to help you navigate your own empowerment journey. You are worthy of living your most authentic, aligned, and inspired life, and I can help you get there. Whether you are diving deep into personal development or just need a weekly pick-me-up, I've got you covered. Thank you so much for pressing play today. I cannot wait to transform together. Let's get empowered. Hello and welcome to the Get Empowered podcast. Your host, Erika here. I am so excited for this week's episode. So let's start off with something I'm grateful for. And to be honest, it was kind of hard to choose something this week because I've had so many amazing things happen recently. I'm just grateful for so much. And this is kind of a repeat, but it's worth the shout out. It's worth the mention. And that is the Manifestation Babe Academy. I'm so fucking grateful for that program. I recently completed it. I recently graduated from it. And it was a 20-week intensive course. Like, this course really helped me in so many areas of my life. It is developed by Catherine Zenkina, also known as the Manifestation Babe, on Instagram. I've been following her work for a while, and I've been wanting to do the program for a while. It was a big investment for me, not only money, but time and energy. And I did not expect it to be as healing as it was. It was such a healing program, and it helped me to really identify limiting beliefs, get through areas that I've been stuck for a long time. And I really think it's because I just tapped into a different side of healing, and it changed my life. And so one reason I wanted to give a shout out this week is because this past weekend, I went up north and I celebrated our graduation with my accountability group. So I've talked about them a little bit before on the podcast. And basically, at the start of MBA, Catherine always recommends that you find a group of people and you guys kind of stay accountability partners throughout the program. And so a group of us in Arizona decided to help keep each other accountable. And then we decided to celebrate our graduation at the end of the program. And at first I was nervous because, to be honest, I hadn't met any of them in person at that point. But we'd been talking like almost every day for the last 6 months. And honestly, the universe really meant for us to be friends. The universe brought us together. I 100% believe that. And it was just such a beautiful, beautiful weekend of sisterhood and connection. And, I definitely have like a friendship wound. And so I definitely get nervous in new groups or with new friends. So I was really unsure how it was going to go. Even though I was excited, I was like, I don't know these people that well. And even though we've been doing this program together, like, I'm a little nervous. And, one of the girls and I, we carpooled up and we had just the best talk on the way up. And it's like a 3.5 hour car ride. And honestly, it felt like I've known these girls forever, probably because honestly, we got so real and raw over the past 20 weeks with each other. We kept each other accountable in the high moments, the low moments. And so it was just a beautiful experience of sisterhood and connection and friendship and female friendship. I think sometimes nowadays female friends can be very competitive with each other, and it's not always a safe space. So having that safe space was beautiful. So shout out to you guys. You know who you are. I love and appreciate you guys so, so, so much. And we're thinking about maybe doing like a whole episode on the topic. So I'm really excited. I will, at least on my own, probably do a whole episode just on sisterhood and friendship, but I'm hoping that I can at least get some of them on. So I had such an amazing experience. That's what I'm grateful for this week. And I'm so thankful. Really quick before we dive into what I am loving, I do want to give just an energy update. If you are listening to this podcast the day it released or the couple days after, so that would be April 20th. If you're listening to the podcast April 20th, 2023, or I would say until about April 23rd, just be aware we are in a new moon. This new moon is actually in Aries, and normally you don't have a double new moon in Aries. So we already had a new moon in Aries. We're having another one, and it's at the beginning of Taurus season. And Taurus is an amazing season to be in, but just know that the energy from the new moon in Aries over the next couple days is probably going to be pretty intense. Aries is a very intense sign. It's a fire sign. So if you're feeling a lot of energy, just in my opinion, really focus on what were maybe tasks you've been trying to get done over the past couple weeks. Focus your energy on maybe finishing up the cycle of things you've been doing instead of starting something new. That may potentially cause for less friction or less stress in your life. And I have a calendar, moon calendar. I'm looking at it right now. And so if you don't know that, you should go download it from my website. I love it. It is so helpful to know the energies of the moon. And I have a whole podcast on it. So go take a listen if you haven't. I'll drop the link in the show notes. But the new moon energy is a really powerful one. It's a yang phase, meaning that it's a high energy phase. So I really like to get shit done during those phases. I'm actually trying to batch content a bit more and to start recording more episodes during the yang phases, because that is just when I naturally have more energy. And I swear, guys, once you start like lining up your life with the moon, things flow so much better. And I've noticed, especially for women, okay, especially for women, we're cyclical beings. And I've noticed that I will naturally be more motivated and have more of a get shit done energy during these yang phases versus the yin phases. And the yin phases are more for rest and relaxation. So just be aware, it's going to be a high energy time from the 20th to the 23rd of April, but that's okay. It's just the new moon in Aries. All things are good. And I do believe there's a double eclipse. So we've got a lot of shit going on astrologically. I'm not an astrologer. I have been thinking about like maybe taking some courses in it. I'm not sure yet. I haven't decided, but just be aware that's what's going on. So, what am I currently loving? First of all, I wanted to share something that a listener is loving, and she was like, this is such a cheap skincare hack, and that is petroleum jelly. So, shout out to Alexandra, who texted me it when I had shared, I think, the skincare tools, maybe. I don't remember which episode it was after, but she was like, a great life hack is petroleum jelly. It helps with your lips. It helps keep things hydrated. And I have heard that actually, because what it does, it's like cheap but it helps keeps things hydrated. I'm probably not doing a great job explaining it, but I have actually seen on like TikTok and stuff, a lot of people do something called slugging, and they'll literally just put a shit ton of this stuff like on their face at night, and it keeps them super hydrated. And a lot of times, guys, like aging can be a result of lack of hydration, or obviously it's not the only thing, but when you keep your skin really hydrated, it helps keep it more youthful. So, little life hack from a listener, petroleum jelly. If you have dry skin, I get dry skin, especially in Arizona in the summer. So I was so thankful for the reminder. I need to go stock up, especially for my hands, like my knuckles. They get so freaking dry in the summer. It's so aggravating, but that's okay. So that's something that a listener is loving. If you guys like are taking a listen to the podcast and you're like, oh, I really love this or that, seriously share it. Please, please, please share it, because I would love to share it with the rest of the audience. Okay, so what is something I'm currently loving? Lots of things. There are so many things. I never know what to share, but this week I want to share a app that I've been using a lot, and that is called the Superhuman app by Mimi Bouchard. I love her podcast. If you haven't listened to Mimi's podcast, I love it. She hasn't been putting out a ton of new episodes right now, but I think she said that's because she's like revamping it or redoing it. There's a lot of like revamping, redoing energy right now. Just like I rebranded, she's kind of rebranding. but she has an amazing app called Superhuman, and it is a ton of like meditations, but it's not necessarily traditional meditation. So she has like walking meditations. She has meditations you can listen to while you're grocery shopping, while you're cleaning your house, while you're cooking dinner. And it's just all these different life things, life activities when you're putting your makeup on in the morning or waking up or winding down for sleep. And then she has like sleep sounds you can listen to during the night. And subliminals are really powerful tools, guys, to help change your subconscious mind and change your mindset. And I've noticed I've been doing a lot of the walking meditations in the morning. And I'll be honest, I am someone that I do really well with just traditional meditation. I like just laying there, sitting there, and just taking in whatever energy that I am receiving from the universe. But I had been noticing that a lot of times the podcast I was listening to in the morning on my morning walks with the dogs were kind of bringing down my energy. Because unless it was like a podcast that was like a comedy based one, which there's only 2 or 3 that I really like that are comedy based, the rest are either personal development or news related. And some of the personal development ones are a little intense. Even though I love them, they're kind of intense. So I started doing these walking meditations or these affirmations while I was walking the dogs in the morning, and I think it has really changed my mindset. It helped me start the day on like a positive note, higher energy. And I feel like with all this spiritual growth and work that I've been doing lately, that I'm just a bit more sensitive. I don't know if that's a real thing or if I'm just making that up in my head, but I've just been feeling a lot more sensitive to different energies lately, and things are just bringing me the fuck down. So I'm doing anything I can to raise my vibration. So the Superhuman app does have, I think it's a 14-day free trial. It's either 7 or 14 days. And I got the free trial. It is definitely an investment. And when I did the free trial, I used it a ton. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to get it for a year. We'll see how much I use it. So far, I use it a lot. Like Kyle and I, thankfully, he can sleep through anything. So I just put on a subliminal at night. And I'm always like, all right, babe, do we want like wealth and like money mindset? Do we want to listen to like self love? Like, what do we want to listen to tonight? And it's just like peaceful music and like affirmations literally all night long. And I like that. I can sleep through that. I like having the little noise in the background. It's like very light and peaceful and calming. So if you're someone that notices like negative thoughts, negative thinking patterns, or if you've noticed that your energy is just being like sucked out of you lately, especially like life has just been kind of heavy, I definitely recommend it. And to be honest, also like side note to that, not only the app, watch the content you're taking in. If content is too heavy, it is okay to put it down. I know even my podcast can get a little intense, and if there's an episode that's just not vibing with you, it's okay to like pause and come back to it at another time, or just like not, So high vibration, I get it. That's something I've been really focusing on lately because the world just has so much shit. We don't need more negativity, right? So anything you can do to increase the vibe, increase the vibration, I really recommend. And so the Superhuman app is one way that I've been implementing that into my life. Now, let's get to the meat and potatoes of the episode. First, I'm going to take a sip of coffee. Should I be having coffee this late in the day? Absolutely not. I should not. And this is like a health thing that I suck at. I'm going to just be really blunt. I drink too much caffeine. I know that. I would say I'm going to change it, but as of now, I'm not going to change it. I just know myself. It's like my guilty pleasure. And as of now, I'm just vibing and it's fine. But Kyle knew that I had a shit ton to get done today. He also does too. So he came home with Dunkin'. So you bet your ass I'm going to drink it. So we're going to take a little sip. All right. Also something I love, an iced coffee, no cream, no sugar, but the mocha flavor. The mocha flavor is just enough flavor and sugar that it makes it not bitter. It like cuts down on the bitterness, but it's not overly sweet. So if you're someone that likes flavor, Dunkin' iced coffee, no cream, no sugar, mocha flavor. Y'all got a double dip of shit I like this week. That's something I don't like it. I fucking love it. That is my order hands down if I'm at Dunkin'. Okay, now let's dive into the 75 hard. Let's do a little bit of a recap. What is the 75 hard? 75 hard is a 75-day mental discipline, mental toughness challenge. And it's not a fitness challenge. It's not a fitness program. There is a fitness component, but that is not the point. The point is to challenge yourself to stay disciplined, stay focused, and to show up for yourself every single day. At least in my opinion, that is the point of it. And I listen to Andy Frisella all the fucking time. And that is what he has always expressed is the point of the program. Okay. So I did it first in 2021. I did it actually, I started it on January 6th, 2021. If you know that reference, you know that reference. People reference that date all the fucking time. I didn't know what was happening, okay? But I had been going through a really hard time. I basically did the program because I was like, fuck it. I need something that is for myself. I need something that will help better myself. And I need to stop thinking about all the bullshit that's going on in life right now because I just cannot deal with it. So I was like, I'm going to do this program. I've seen it everywhere. We'll see. And guys, it literally changed my life. It changed my life. Now, I was trying to figure out, okay, how do I sustain it though? Right? And so he has a program called the Live Hard, which I'll get more into, but essentially it's like what you do after the 75 hard. And I tried to maintain it, but honestly, I wasn't able to. I failed like 4 or 5 times doing the different phases after the 75 hard, and that's okay. I'm not mad about it. But I then didn't really do much of it in 2022. I finished out 2021, didn't finish Live Hard, but I felt pretty good. So I was in overall good place. But at the end of 2021 was really when like life at work specifically was starting to get a lot and very frustrating and very difficult. And honestly, I just put these tools to the side. I still did most of the tasks. And one thing I'll say about the 75 hard, let me go over the tasks really quick. I apologize. And I have a whole episode on my first time I did the program. If you want to go listen to it, feel free. It's pretty early on. It's one of my earlier episodes. But essentially with the 75 hard, you do 2 workouts a day, 45 minutes. One needs to be outdoors. Both can be outdoors, but one has to be outdoors. Doesn't matter the weather. Obviously, if you could die, don't do it, but it has to be outdoors. Okay. It doesn't matter if it's raining, doesn't matter if it's snowing, doesn't matter if it's hot or cold. You have to get the fuck outside. Okay. Then you have to read 10 pages of a nonfiction book. You have to, you have to choose a diet and stick to it. He doesn't tell you what diet, but you have to choose one, stick with it. And you cannot have any cheat days. You cannot have any alcohol. You have to drink a gallon of water a day, and you have to take a progress photo every single day. And I think that's everything. I'm pretty sure I got it all. And so it's a lot. Now, I will say I already did a lot of these things. The first time I did the 75 hard, I'd already incorporated a lot of these habits into my routine. Maybe not every day, but quite a bit. And the first time I did the program, the water was the hardest part for me by far. And the first time I did the program, my diet was basically macro counting, and then I limited all sweets except for dark chocolate and the mango slices from Trader Joe's. Those were the 2 things I let myself have because I was like, I want this to be kind of sustainable. I don't want to completely deprive myself, but I also want it to be hard. And when I had started it, it was right after Christmas. I'd had a shit ton of sweets, blah, blah, blah. So going forward, I lost a lot of weight. I felt really good. I maintained that weight loss for quite a while. Honestly, when life just became such a fucking mess last year, I decided to stress eat and go back to old habits. And I gained some weight, not a ton, but enough to be uncomfortable. I do have a health update episode. I talked about it in the fall. But basically, I had been toying with the idea of doing the 75 hard again. I actually probably talked about it. I started it in the fall, in late fall, this past fall. But then I decided to stop around my birthday, and I wasn't mad. I didn't feel like a failure. I was like, you know what? I want to enjoy my birthday. I want to enjoy the holidays. I feel pretty good. I'm going to just stop. And that was fine. But if you guys know me, I am a routine person. I'm a routine person. And so my friend's wedding was in Vegas in January, and I felt pretty good about myself, but there was still certain health goals I didn't have and just life goals that I didn't have. I wasn't where I wanted to be in life, even though so many amazing things had happened. I was like, there's more I can do. I know there's more I can do. And a friend of mine had mentioned how she was thinking about doing the 75 hard. And I was like, fuck yeah, me too. I'll do it with you. Let's do it together. And it was the first time that I really had a buddy in the program. And so we decided to start the 75 hard. I think it was January 17th. I don't remember. It was towards the end of January. It was the Monday after Vegas. Also, and I always start the program with a bikini picture. I do not recommend a bikini pic after you spent a weekend in Vegas. Even though I don't drink, I definitely ate not the way I normally eat. And ooh, that was humbling to say the least. very humbling. But so I just completed the program this past Friday. So that would be what, April 14th. I finished the program. And unfortunately, my partner wasn't able to finish. She had a really big life event happen about 55 or so days in, but she did so good. She killed it. And honestly, I'm so thankful that she did the majority of the program with me. And so I just want to talk about, okay, I did the program twice. What did I learn the second time around? Am I going to keep it up? What am I going to do? Do I recommend it? So one, yes, I recommend the program to anyone who is wanting to up level in life, and not just physically, but mentally and honestly spiritually too. And this is why. So a lot of people say that the 75 hard is not sustainable, and I'm going to disagree with that. And this is why I think that it is sustainable depending on the mindset you go in with. If you're going in to lose weight and to completely change your body, I don't think it's going to be sustainable because most people don't do 2 workouts a day for the rest of their life. Okay, that's just not realistic. Also, that's not the point of the program. Like weight loss and a new body is honestly just like a side effect. And depending on the diet you choose, depending on the workouts you do, you may not see that big of physical results. And actually, I'm going to talk about that a little bit because that was something that was different this time, was like what I saw physically. Okay. The second thing I saw was, or that I noticed, and I just want to reiterate, is that you can do hard things. Like a lot of people don't like to be uncomfortable in life. And what I like about the 75 hard is it really flexes that muscle of like being uncomfortable. There were so many times where I did not want to get a second workout in, where the day had been busy as fuck. And I was like, great, now I have to walk on my treadmill at like 9 at night, or I need to do an outdoor workout and it's like hot or it's cold or it's windy or it's getting rained on. If I don't do an out, I'm not going to have time. And guess what? Every time that you do something hard when you don't want to, you're building up your resilient muscle. And what I like about that is when life hands you hard fucking things, you have built up this tolerance for doing hard things. When life gives you like a shit show, because let's be honest, that happens to all of us. We are all handed like obstacles. Then you learn how to be resilient in that moment. Okay. So that's one reason I like the program, is it really helps to build your what's the word I'm looking for? Your mental discipline, your mental toughness, and it just helps build character. And like honestly, I think the world has gotten way too soft. I think we all need to add some challenge in our life. I really do think it enriches your life. And I know that may be controversial, and it's funny, as someone who loves to like go with the flow, this may be shocking to people. They're like, what do you mean? I thought you're supposed to be like in alignment and in flow. And that's where this program isn't for everyone. And that is okay. That is a-okay. The program is not for everyone. It is for me. It goes in my flow. I feel my best when I'm on the program. Okay. And so this is something I'm going to talk about. Let me talk about what my physical changes were this time around. So last time I lost, oh gosh, I don't remember the number, but probably about like 15 pounds the first time I did it. Now, I will say I started the program a lot lighter than I started it last time, probably about 10 pounds lighter. Okay, so yes, that was one thing. I did want to lose weight, of course, but like I've been looking at weight loss that I want as a longer term vision, more sustainable. And so I was like, okay, this is my goal for about a year, not necessarily 75 days. And realistically, I didn't create where I am in 75 days. So it's going to take more than 75 days to change where I want to be. But this is something I want to say, guys. I'm probably not going to post the photos. Like I could, but I just don't really want to. But I did see physical changes. And it was funny because Kyle, I showed him like the before and after. He's like, damn, babe, like this is awesome. Like I see a lot more ab definition, a lot more arm definition, um, a lot more booty definition, which is awesome, right? But there's only a 3 pound difference. And when I told him that, he's like, what? I'm like, yes, this is a 3 pound fucking difference. And I think for me, it's because one of the biggest things I did was I did a pretty intense like diet, but I don't see it as a diet. I see it as a lifestyle change because it's how I feel my best. And so honestly, I think a lot of my physical changes were getting inflammation out of my body. Like I see it in my face, I see it in my like stomach, I see it in my waist, I see it so many different places. And of course, I do think some of it is like actual body composition, of course, but I think a lot of the changes are not being constantly inflamed. Okay. So, what was the diet I did this time? And again, like I'm not a medical, well, I am a medical professional, but this is not what I This is not what I specialize in. So please do not do what I do just because I say it. Okay. This is what has worked for me. This is after talking to doctors about what works for me. You know, I have been recommended in the past to live an anti-inflammatory diet, and that can be difficult. Okay. So what I did was no gluten, no dairy, and no soy. And let me tell you right now, gluten, dairy, and soy are in fucking everything. Everything. So basically, what did I eat? Meat, fruits, and veggies, limited grains. Very limited grains. And like I've even noticed with certain grains, like I don't tolerate them very well. And certain legumes, I don't tolerate them very well. And certain nightshades, I don't tolerate them very well. So I basically need to eat AIP, which is autoimmune protocol. And I like eating that way, but not everyone does, and that's okay. But what I liked about this program is I've been trying to get onto this lifestyle and I've been struggling to maintain it. And I can't explain it, guys, but I have such good discipline when I'm on the 75 hard. So, for example, like Kyle's birthday was during this. So, his uncle makes an amazing cheesecake. Your girl loves fucking sweets. Okay. I have a sweet tooth. I have my whole life. I love them. I fucking love them. Okay. I'm not like a salty person. Well, maybe, but not when it comes to food. I love sweets. Give me all the chocolate, candy, desserts, baked goods. I fucking love them. Okay. So normally at family events, when his uncle like makes a cheesecake, which is like one of the things he does often, I'm like, fuck yeah, I want a piece of that. Now, of course, like being on the 75 hard, I couldn't. And to be honest, I probably won't really going forward either. And that was what was cool is the 75 hard ended right as I was doing my weekend up north with my friends. And I did eat like whatever I wanted that Saturday and Sunday. And what was cool is I like didn't feel like shit. One, I had no guilt. I had no guilt whatsoever. I was like, fuck yeah, I'm gonna have this dessert. But then honestly, by the time I got home, I was like, okay, like had some fun, ate like not terrible, but definitely not the way I had been. I'm like, I'm back and I'm ready to get back to my gluten-free, dairy-free, soy-free lifestyle because that is where I thrive. That's where I feel better. But I do think this really healed my gut because like the influx of foods I hadn't eaten in a while really didn't upset my stomach, which was honestly shocking. So this is something I want to talk about. If you go in to the program with the right mindset, you can most definitely create sustainable habits. And I think if you're going to the program being like, I want to change my habits, it is going to be sustainable. If you go into the program being like, I'm only doing this to lose weight, I'm only doing this to get skinny, it is not going to fucking be sustainable because you need to go into things with the right intention. And I think that's a lesson, honestly, for life in general. What is the intention you are making when you step into something new, or when you're creating a habit, or when you're making a change? If you go from a positive place and a place of I love myself. So I really started this program. The first time I did the program because I wanted to escape. I wanted to get out of my head, out of my life. And I was like, honestly, this will keep me so busy. I don't even have to fucking think about my life. Because that's where I was when I started it in 2021. To be honest, I was going through a very hard and dark period of my life. I'm going to be blunt. This time around, I had just kind of come to the other side of a lot of things. And honestly, like life has been good. I'm very grateful. It's been a very good season of life recently. But I knew that I really thrived under this program. I really thrived when I do the 75 hard. So I decided I'm going to approach it from a sustainable manner. I'm going to approach it in a loving manner. I'm going to approach it in a way, how can I best serve my body? And I realized that diet is the way I feel my best. And also, I incorporated the new workout program that I have been loving. So, something I want to compare as well from the old time to this time. The first time I did the 75 hard, I definitely overworked myself. Okay. I was doing Krav Maga, I was lifting heavy, like heavy, heavy. Okay. I was doing 5x5, which means you do basically like really heavy reps or really heavy weight for 5 reps, 5 sets of them. And I was like killing my body. Krav Maga, walks, running, intense cardio, and weightlifting. And then this time around, I've been doing spin, which is like high intensity cardio, and I love it, but I love it. It like doesn't feel like work. It really lights up my soul. And I've been doing bar, which is hard, but it's like much gentler on the body. And yeah, there was definitely days I was sore. I'm not going to say that, oh, I was never sore this whole program, because like that's also not good in my opinion. Like I like feeling a little sore, but I didn't feel burnt out. I didn't feel drained. I felt like nourished. I felt this time around when I was doing the 75 hard, like my body was just responding in such a positive way. Okay, so what are things I learned from this round? Like I said, I didn't lose a ton of weight, but like physically, I definitely saw shifts and changes. And honestly, I was kind of shocked at the number I did lose, because it looked like maybe I'd lost more. But one thing I love about that is I didn't beat myself up over the number on the scale. I really did not, which I'm shocked at and I'm thankful for. That shows a mindset shift, to be honest. If you've listened to some of the episodes I've done in the past about like weight and lifestyle, especially the ones I've done with my friend Gianna, I've shared how I've definitely had eating disorder tendencies in the past, and how I've just been very hard on myself, like physically. And so I was really grateful that I ended this program feeling so good. And I do think a lot of it is because of the energy work I've been doing and the deep inner healing work I've been doing. But I also think a big part of it was I started the program to help my body feel its best, not to beat my body up, not to like make these huge changes because I hated my body. I decided to do the program because I love myself and I wanted to feel the best I possibly could and perform at a higher level. Okay. So, first tip when it comes to like fitness and health is do what you enjoy. You've probably heard me talk about it a lot, but I have been loving my workout routine. And I think because I've been loving it, I get excited to go. Just like I said earlier, your intention when you do something is really fucking powerful. So if you are doing something because, oh my God, I hate my body, I hate my life, I need to make this change. And if I don't make this change, nothing's going to change. And like all these negative thoughts versus, I'm going to do this because I love it, because I enjoy it. I know it's going to make me feel my best and it's going to lift up my vibration. If you take it from that angle, I really do think it's very powerful and it can change your life. And that is what I have seen with me. So, first tip, do what you enjoy. Do the activities you enjoy. And to get a little bit more specific, this is a life hack that I've incorporated and it's kind of just worked out for me, but I really do think it changes the game. Do your favorite workout if you can on Monday. On Monday, one, never miss a Monday. Two, do your favorite fucking workout on Monday, because it just sets you up well for the rest of the week. I'm really lucky, and my favorite spin class, my favorite instructor happens to be on Monday. Okay, I don't like control that, but it has changed the game for me and it makes me motivated to go to the gym the rest of the week because I started my week out really strong. So if you can, do your favorite workout on Monday. And I used to do that too with like leg day, because leg day was my favorite day to lift when I was like lifting a lot. Do what you love on Monday. Start your week out strong. I really think that helps. Okay. Also, I want to give the tip of when you're choosing a way to eat in a diet, I don't like the word diet, but whatever, it's the best way to describe it. When you're choosing a diet, do something that makes you feel good. And this is where, again, you need to be intentional. Does it make my soul feel good or my body feel good? Because sometimes my soul, sure, yeah, feels good having the piece of cheesecake, but my stomach does not fucking feel good after. So I really had to learn and differentiate like what makes me feel good in my physical body. And as I started to notice and tap in and realize that this anti-inflammatory lifestyle is what makes me feel my best, I noticed the increase of energy. I noticed the better sleeping, the better digestion, the better skin, the less inflammation. That keeps you motivated. So really tap in and tune into your body. What makes you feel your best? Do things that support you feeling your best. Okay. Another like life hack, I talked about it last week, I think, is either last week or 2 weeks ago. 30 to 40 ounce water bottles will help you drink more water because you have to fill it up less during the day. I swear it's just like a mind hack thing. Our brain doesn't realize how much water we're drinking when you don't have to fill it up as many times. I'm convinced. I'm sure that's not real science. I don't fucking care. It works for me. And a straw. A straw works, okay? I also realized this cycle, and I think this is something I really want to touch on, is you do not need to go super intense to see results. You do not. Now, some people would call the program in and of itself super intense, but guys, like I said, I did spin and I did bar. I did not touch a barbell the whole fucking time I did the 75 hard. I did not. And I did walks. My outdoor workouts were walks with my dogs. I did bar, which is low impact, though it does kick your ass if you have good teachers. It's definitely difficult. And spin is also definitely difficult, but they were really fun. And I think that's why the mindset was so different for me this time around and so life-giving and life-producing. And I just feel so fucking good. And it doesn't matter what the weight on the scale is. Now, of course, I'm happy that like I'm getting closer to my goal, but I'm more focused on, wow, I feel really fucking good. I feel really good. I wish I could like express that enough. My body feels healthy. I feel full of energy. And what's funny is that was one of my manifestations I was working towards in the Manifestation Babe Academy, like I mentioned earlier, was I didn't want to focus on a number too much. Of course, I put one down, but my main focus was feeling like full of energy, full of life, and just really healthy and happy. And that's how I feel. And I'm really fucking grateful for that. Okay. So intention is key. You do not need to go super crazy or super intense. And I know this is like corny and something a lot of people say, but like, please take it to heart as someone who's done a lot of different things. Do what you love. Now, if you love weightlifting, go fucking weightlift. Make sure you make time to recover, but go do it. If you love going for walks, go for walks. If you love doing outdoor activities, do outdoor activities. What the fuck ever. If you love Pilates, if you love bar, if you love yoga, whatever. Do what you love because you are going to be more likely to be consistent with it when you love it, okay? Let's see. I think that was, I'm just looking at my notes really quick. Okay, yeah. So those are my main takeaways, guys. I had such a good experience this time around. And honestly, I really recommend the program if you want to upgrade your life, if you want to uplevel your life, and if you want to challenge yourself. I really think putting yourself in uncomfortable positions is really important. I think also I love that you have to read personal development. So I'm trying to think of what I read during the program. I don't remember all of them, but I have definitely talked about them on the podcast. I read both of Tim Grover's books, super good. I read Daring Greatly by Brene Brown, also super good. I read some fun books as well. Of course, those didn't count for my program, but I did read them during that time, and that was kind of a good little breather. So basically what I'm saying is the intention that you have and the mindset that you have going into something, in my opinion, will really, really affect the results. So if your intention is to feel full of energy, full of life, full of happiness, full of joy, you are more likely to get that result. Versus if you're doing something just because you hate yourself and you need to change yourself and you're like, oh my God, I fucking suck, that is not going to be as positive, okay? I mean, obviously, I just used a ton of negative words, but I think it's really important to be mindful of that, okay? So that's been my experience. I really love the 75 hard. Obviously, I talk about it all the time. I think it's great. But now what am I going to do? So now I am determined, and I'm saying it on the podcast to keep myself accountable, okay? Because I know you guys listen and I will give updates, but I'm going to do the Live Hard program. I'm going to fucking finish it this year. No excuses. I have zero fucking excuses, okay? So the Live Hard program is essentially the Live Hard program is a year-long program after the 75 hard. So there's the 75 hard, which is the first part, and then there's 3 additional phases. Phase 1, 2, and 3. Phase 1 is, in my opinion, the hardest. It is only it is only 30 days, but you have way more shit to do. So you have all the tasks you need to do for the 75 hard. On top of, you need to take a 5-minute cold shower every day. You have to do 10 minutes of visualization every day. You also have to do 3 extra tasks every single day, and he calls that your power list. So you get to choose what is on the list every day, and I don't believe it has to be the same every day. I think you like start your day, you write down your power list, and you have to fucking finish it before you go to bed. And a little fun fact, guys, I started it today, and honestly, I actually tried starting it 2 days ago, and I failed both of my first 2 days, and that's fine. I'm not mad about it. Life fucking happens. I just was like, you know what? It's not happening today. Day 1 is not happening today. I believe I was meant to start today. I feel really good. I know I'm going to finish today. We're thriving. But essentially, I have to do that for 30 days. And then I have to take 30 days off before I can do phase 2. And phase 2 is basically the 75 hard again, except only 30 days of it. But it's those like same 5 tasks. not all the extra stuff. And then phase 3, you do at the 30 days before you hit the year anniversary of you doing the 75 hard. So that's way more intense. There's extra things. I don't remember them all because it's so far away. I kind of take things one step at a time. I'm like, what do I need to know tomorrow? What do I need to know within the next week? If you know me, if something is not on my Google Calendar, it does not exist in my brain. Okay. And I'm reading a really good book right now. I'm so excited. It's called Medium Mentor by Marianne DeMarco. And I'm just really delving into my spiritual gifts, guys. So just like mentally prepare for this podcast to probably continue getting more and more woo. I'm not mad about it though. I'm loving it. And speaking of woo, it is time to pull a chakra card. So I pulled a chakra card. I'm just pulling out my notes and I'm grabbing the card. It is the I am present, which is the crown chakra. They really recommend selenite crystal. I do not have a selenite crystal, so I personally like to use a crystal quartz, but basically the I am presence, what does this mean? Well, first of all, the crown chakra is the chakra that is at the crown of your head. So the third eye is in the middle of the forehead. The crown chakra is the one above it. If you haven't listened to my chakra episodes, 10 out of 10 recommend. Okay. So this card is a sign that you are connecting to your I am presence. So just like we all have like angels and guides and like ascended masters that help guide us through life, we also have an I am presence, which is basically a part of yourself that just exists at a higher vibration and a higher level of being. And your I am presence can also be very in touch with your intuition. It can really like guide your soul. Okay. So it pours love, it pours wisdom upon you. So basically, your I am presence is calling for you to connect deeply with this divine aspect of yourself. So this is a sign for you to start like touching base with the higher version of yourself. So like I just said, the Superhuman app is an amazing way to do that. Meditation, writing, journaling, just connecting to a deeper level of yourself. And if you're like, Erika, what the fuck does that even mean? What does that mean? So if you've been feeling lost or have a lack of direction, your I am presence is going to help you get the answers to your questions. And it is like the part of you that offers like divine guidance. You could call it your gut, you could call it your intuition, but really your I am presence is what is giving you that intuition, in my opinion. Okay. So this is going to be positive energy flowing to you. It's going to help you up level. Okay. And so if you have been just like struggling, or if you need like deeper feeling of fulfillment and well-being, touch base with your I am presence. And again, how can you do this? How did I start? I started genuinely just by quieting my mind, by sitting in meditation. And guys, I now can meditate for a pretty long period of time, like 30 plus minutes. Okay, but I did not start that way. Start with a minute, start with 2 minutes, start with 30 seconds. Literally just quiet your mind and allow yourself to just be still. Because when you allow yourself to be still is when you can start to get in touch with your intuition. Okay, so if you've been going through something, if you've been feeling lost, lack of direction, this is the part of yourself that is going to give you answers. Okay, it is all knowing. This could also be a sign that you have been working on getting connected to your higher self. And so this is just a sign to keep going. It is time to listen and to take note of the wisdom that is pouring into your soul right now. So if maybe you're struggling with something and you have a gut feeling about what you need to do, trust your intuition, trust your gut. Also, side note, if you don't know your human design, take a look at your human design. I have a whole episode on it. Also, look at the My Human Design app, okay? Look at your energy type, your strategy, and your authority. And when you start living in alignment with those three things, it will help you. It will help you tune in to the higher aspects of yourself. So I would recommend that getting a crystal, if you have one, a selenite or a clear quartz, take some time to just be still, listen, allow that higher vibration of your soul to come in, write, meditate, journal. All these things are tools that can help you. And for journaling, I don't do this a ton. I'm going to be honest. This is like one of the spiritual tools I don't use a lot. But sometimes, like a lot of people just pour their soul out. Like whatever is coming to your mind, just write it out. That can be a good sign of what you need to know, what you need to learn, what your soul's wanting to know. Okay. But just know that you are here and you are thriving, and your I am presence is celebrating your hard work. So don't give up on yourself. This higher vibrational state of yourself knows what you need. So also, like, when we have those healing cards and we're like, you are your best healer, you are your own guru, that is your I am presence helping you. So just like I knew I needed the 75 hard, I just knew in my gut I needed to do the 75 hard, and I've never felt better. And so, like, buckle the fuck up, people, because things are coming. It's part of why I did the rebrand, because I was just so inspired and motivated, and I'm loving it. I'm loving it. I hope you guys are enjoying it too. Please let me know if you're liking the new episode structure. I think it's been really fun. And I'm sorry you guys hear me talk about the 75 hard all the time, but I'm just so fucking passionate about it. And so I wanted to share how this round went. Honestly, it was like so much more low key because I didn't really share about it a ton. Like, my good friends knew, but like I wasn't sharing it a ton on social media. And I just really felt like I did it for me. And the first time I did it, I kind of needed the accountability. That's why I shared it so much, like, out in the world. But this time it wasn't about like impressing anyone. It wasn't about like, oh, if I don't tell the world, I'm not going to keep myself accountable. No, I had the internal drive to do it myself. And I needed it. I listened to my soul. I listened to my guidance. And I knew that my soul needed the program. And I'm so fucking grateful for it. So thank you guys for listening. Thank you guys for tuning in. You guys are the fucking best. I cannot wait to, tune in with you guys next week. So do not forget to stay empowered. All right. I love y'all. Talk to you guys next week. Thank you so much for tuning in today. I'm so grateful for each and every one of you for taking the time to be a part of our Get Empowered community. Don't forget to check the show notes for the resources I shared in today's episode, and of course, to connect with me on social. You can find all of our offers and community links at empoweredwitherika.com. I always love hearing from you, so don't forget to rate, review, and subscribe, and tag me with your biggest takeaways from today's episode. Let me know what you loved and what you want to hear more about, and share it with someone who you think would love it too. I cannot wait to share more with you. I'll see you next week, and don't forget to stay empowered.